Okay, here is another Aptitude GS keyboard that I got about, I don't know, about 8 months ago. And I'm glad I kept it because now I have a spare keyboard for my Aptitude GS computer system. But this one, as you can see, it's in a little bit nicer condition. It doesn't appear to be yellowed at all. It just needs to be cleaned. It's just dirty, you know. So I will be refurbishing this keyboard and saving it, keeping it as a spare for my Aptitude GS. But yeah, I want to show you my spare keyboard as well. And now this keyboard can also be used for the early Macintosh computers too. And this keyboard right here is used to actually turn on some of those Macintosh computers. Okay, and there's the bottom part of the keyboard in case you want to see what what it looks like. There's the bottom of the keyboard, and I'll zoom in so that you can read the label. Okay, there's the Apple, the label that's on the bottom of this mechanical keyboard. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, this is the mouse that came with the system. I just thought I'd show it to you. And as you can see, it uses the Apple desktop bus connector. And like I said before, the Apple IIgs was the first Apple computer to use the Apple desktop bus. Okay, and there's the Apple logo right there, engraved or molded into the plastic. And it's a single button mouse, and it has a nice feel to it. It's ergonomic. It's one of the better mice that Apple came out with. I actually like these mouse. They're very similar to the Amiga 3000 Pregnant mouse. So if you've ever used one of those mice, well, these mice here are similar in the way they feel and the way they respond. They have similar DPI resolutions too, so they're very smooth operating on the screen. They're very smooth operating. But anyway, yeah, that's the mouse that I got with the Apple IIgs system. This mouse is also the proper mouse for use with the Macintosh LC series, the LC, the LC2, and the LC3, and it's also the proper mouse for the the Macintosh 2SI computer. This is the correct mouse for that computer as well. Okay, this here I believe is the printer cable that came with the system. I think this is for attaching a printer up to the computer. It has that kind of a logo on the connector, and there's the pins. Okay, yeah, but I think this is the printer cable, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a printer cable. And next we have, I'm not sure, yeah, this is the original Apple. This is the original, let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, this is the original power cable for the system. Right here. It's interesting that it has this right angle plug. Okay. But it is the original cable because the Apple logo, as you can see, is molded into the cord. So yeah, this is the cable, the correct cable, for the Apple IIgs computer. And I think Apple logo's also, well, it's not on this end, but yeah, it's definitely on that plug right there. So yeah, this is the cable, the correct cable for the Apple IIgs system. And there's a close-up view of that L-shaped or right angle plug right there. I thought that was interesting, the way that was done. Okay, next we have this really cool Apple-compatible joystick by Gravis. My favorite colors are black and red, so I just love this joystick. And it's actually a good quality joystick. It's actually a very good quality joystick. Let me zoom out a little bit. But yeah, it's got your fire button up on the top, and it's got your two buttons here. And I think these are programmable. You can use them for different things. And then it has this interesting thing here. I think this controls the tension on the stick. And you can even have it to where the stick is loose. And this is for one axis, and this one is for the other axis right there. And there's the bottom of the joystick. It's got real nice rubber feet and really thick rubber feet. It's really a high quality joystick. Even the plastic is a really high quality plastic. But there's the side of that joystick. I don't know what these are for. I guess I'll find out when I start using this joystick. So if any of you know what those are for, just leave a comment in the comment section, please. I'd like to know what those are for, because I've never seen a joystick that has these. Well, actually, yeah, because I have one of these for my Atari ST, and it too has these wheels on the side. I don't know what those are for. But yeah, the buttons, well, especially these buttons, they appear to be really high quality arcade buttons, like the type that I use in my arcade business. They're pretty good quality. And I like the way Gravis did the orange, or excuse me, not orange, the gold, like a satin gold highlight. I think that looks really cool. It's a really nice looking joystick. I really like this joystick. And then it has your, I believe this is a 9-pin D connector, which is what the Apple computers use. So this will work on the Apple IIgs. It'll also work on my Apple IIc Plus. It'll work on that computer. And it will work with my Apple II Plus computer. I have a cable that plugs onto the motherboard, and then out back it has a connector that this plugs into. So yeah, I think this is a real nice joystick, and I wanted to show it in this video. But this, yeah, I got this joystick along with, with the rest of that Apple IIgs system, and I think it's really nice. Yeah, I'll be talking more about this in detail when I do my upcoming joystick collection video. I'm actually going to show I have a huge joystick collection, and I'm going to be doing a video and posting it on my YouTube channel showing all the joysticks that I've collected through the years. And so this will be one of the joysticks that I show again. And by then I'll learn more about it. I'll learn where it was made, who made it, I'll learn a lot more about this joystick. Okay. Anyway, that's the joystick that came with my Apple II GS system. Okay, next we have the Apple II GS Owner's Guide that came with the system. And it's in really nice shape. It's like brand new condition. I usually keep my manuals in a high quality storage type Ziploc bags. They're made out of a heavier duty or plastic, and the Ziploc, they got like a double zipper feature on them, and that's what I usually keep my manuals in, to keep them looking real nice like this. But let me go ahead and maybe open up the manual and show the inside, what's in the manual. Well, this is just the index. that shows, you know, what comes with the system. Let me move this over where it's more centered. Yeah, gotta make it look nicer underneath the camera, but this is the system. It shows you what comes in the box with the system. Now the monitor you had to buy separately. The monitor did not come with the system. You had to buy it separately. But all of this came in the box, and I have all of this, even the system discs. So, yeah. So, yeah, unlike a lot of the Macintosh computers where you had to buy the keyboard separately, the Apple IIgs, the keyboard was included along with the mouse. Okay. Setting up your Apple IIgs. Talks about the printer, image writer printer, 3.5-inch disk drive. These are the extra things that you could buy for it. Modem, monitor, you know, high-res monitor. Talks about the rear of the computer, you know. In fact, what I'll do is I'll zoom in a little bit so you can read that if you want. Just pause the video and read that if you want. But, yeah. I think it's always interesting taking a look at these old manuals to see what's inside. It shows the inside of the computer. I think that's pretty cool. You know. Yeah, you just don't get stuff like this anymore with your computer hardware. You just don't get stuff like this. It talks about the memory expansion. Connecting the monitor. Analog RGB color monitors. Yeah, it's pretty cool. These pages are pretty thick. Yeah, they're pretty thick. Look at that. Now I have a 3.5-inch disk drive and a 5.25-inch disk drive, which I'm fixing to show next. But this picture here, it shows 2 of each. So eventually I'm going to get a second of each, so I have it set up just like this. Looks like I got a delivery outside my shop. I think that's UPS. Yeah, I'm always getting deliveries here at the shop. Yeah, some of you may find this boring, you know, looking through the manual like this, but other people, I think, will find this very fascinating. You know, they'll find this fascinating. Yeah. I'll flip through it a little bit faster. I just want to show some of the manual. Oh, that's another thing. The Apple IIgs computer was the first Apple computer to have a color graphics user interface, even before the Macintosh. The Apple IIgs computer was the first Apple computer to have a color GUI, as you can see here in this picture. Anyway, let's go ahead and flip through this just a little bit faster. Okay, I don't want to, in fact, what I could do is just zoom out a little bit like that, and we'll flip through this a little bit quicker. Okay, just a little bit quicker. But I did want you to see the inside of this manual, how nice it is. You know, when's the last time you bought a piece of hardware or a computer that had a nice manual like this? I mean, this is just so cool. You know, it's just so cool. This is very nostalgic to me. It's very enjoyable to see stuff like this again after all these years. I've always wanted an Apple IIgs computer, and now I have one. So I'm real happy about that. And I'm planning on doing a lot of stuff with it in front of the camera, so you guys get to watch me do a lot of stuff with this Apple IIgs computer. One of the nice things about the Apple IIgs is its sound chip. It has one incredible sound chip. And I'm planning on getting a lot of nice music software for this computer and actually show you how to jam using this computer. Oh, the sound chip on this computer is absolutely incredible. It really is. It blows the doors off the Commodore SID chip. I know a lot of people out there are going to hate me saying that, but it is true. The sound chip in the Apple IIgs computer is just, it's really nice. It's a really nice sound chip. Really nice sound chip. Yeah, I think it has detailed information about some of the chips too. Let me see. Talks about using the mouse, cleaning the mouse, and all that. I think there is. Yeah, you can use a RAM disk with the Apple IIgs as well. A lot of computers from that time period. See, there's your pinouts for your different connectors. That's always nice to have. The pinouts to the different connectors. Yeah, that's always nice to have that. Yeah, there's the internal game connector, just like on the Apple II Plus computers. Okay. Yeah, that's always nice to have that. Anyway, that's the manual. The original, the owner's guide to the Apple IIgs computer. I thought I'd show it to you. Yeah, because it's part of the system. You know, I like getting the manual, the original manuals with the system. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's the manual to the Apple IIgs computer. Okay, here we have the Apple 3.5-inch disk drive. This is the main disk drive for an Apple IIgs computer. You have to remember that the Apple IIgs is not really an Apple II computer. Yes, you heard me right. It's not a Macintosh computer either. It's like somewhere in between those two platforms. The Apple IIgs is an Apple IIgs computer. But it also contains a chip on the motherboard that allows the computer to also use Apple software, Apple II software. It's like a complete Apple II computer on a chip. And that chip is on the motherboard of the Apple IIgs. But make no mistake, the Apple IIgs is not an Apple II computer. No. Okay? The Apple II computer is an 8-bit computer. The Apple IIgs is a 16-bit computer. It's a much more powerful, system, much faster system too. Yeah. Anyway, so the main disks that the Apple IIgs uses, like the Amiga and the Atari ST and the Macintosh, it uses 3.5-inch disk format, not 5 1/4. Okay, so the main disk drive for the Apple IIgs is one of these, the Apple 3.5-inch disk drive. Okay, so there is the front of that drive. And you have, of course, the Apple logo, and you got the eject button. Okay. And I think that's it's like a green LED right there that lights up when you're using the drive, if I remember correctly. That's a little green LED right there in the corner. And then this is the back of the drive. Okay, you can daisy chain up to 4 drives. Okay, and this is the connector for that drive. This is the connector for it. You know, I think it's a 15 pin if I'm not mistaken. 15 pin connector. And I don't know what this is. What this is here. Oh, it's just telling you to power off the computer. Turn off the computer before hooking up the drive or unhooking the drive. Okay. Darn it. Got stuff all over my workbench now. Stuff. Come. Okay. So that's the 3.5-inch drive, and I'll show you the bottom. And this one's in a really nice shape, actually. I mean, when you look at it, a lot of times they're well used and they're yellowed, and you know, but this one's in pretty nice shape. Pretty nice shape. But like I said in the first part of this video, these drives are highly sought after on eBay, and they command very high prices. I don't know why that is, but yeah, they do. Yeah, this one still has the original rubber rectangular feet. These usually come off over time. And they're in pretty good shape. You can see how clean these are on the bottom. So the drive is in very nice shape. And there's the original Apple 3.5-inch drive label, you know, right there. And I can zoom in on the label so you can see what's on that label. So let me zoom in. You can zoom, you know, see what's on the label. But yeah, Apple. Apple 3.5-inch drive, and that's what's on the label. Yeah. Okay, so that's that drive. Let me zoom back out. Yeah, zoom back out. Okay, that's the 3.5-inch drive. Yeah, I'll go ahead and put that up here. Okay, next we have the 5.25-inch, you know, Apple 5.25-inch drive. This is mainly for, you know, allowing you to use or to run Apple software, the older Apple II software, on your Apple IIgs computer system. That's what this drive's for. Anyway, there's the front of the drive, Apple 5.25-inch disk drive, and you've got your Apple logo and your red power LED, and it says here, it says push down to close and push in to open. So apparently that's how that lever works. Okay, but anyway, there's the front. And there's the rear of the drive. And you got your drive connector there. Like I said, you can daisy chain. You can use up to 4 disk drives with the Apple IIgs computer. Okay, and it uses the same connector, you know, as all the Apple drives. You know, use that same. I think it's 19 pin actually. I think this is the size of that connector. I think it's a 19 pin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, it's a 19 pin connector. That connector right there. It's 19 pin. Yeah. And then here is the bottom of the drive. And it too is in pretty nice shape. The feet are still basically clean, you know. Piece of wood or something on there. I don't know what that is. I think piece of wood or something. But yeah, still in pretty good shape for as old as this drive is. You know, pretty good shape. Okay, there's the label. I'll zoom in on that label. Some people like to read those labels, so I zoom in. But anyway, there's that. Okay, the label. Maybe center this a little bit. Yeah, I'm kind of a perfectionist, but anyway, there's the label. Okay. All right, so that's the Apple II. Excuse me, the Apple 5¼ disk drive for the Apple II GS computer, as well as other Apple II computers. You know, yeah. I'll be showing this drive more in detail. You know, I'll be taking it apart and recapping it and cleaning the heads and stuff like that in a near future video. So stay tuned for that. Alrighty. The next thing that I have to show you is the Apple II GS System Disk User's Guide. Now remember, the Apple II GS was the first Apple computer to have a color GUI. And this is the user's guide for that operating system. So let's take a look inside, shall we? Let's take a look inside this beautiful manual. Alright, there you go. I just want to get it centered underneath the camera. I know I'm a perfectionist. Oh well, can't help it. Okay. Looks like some of the pages are wrinkled. Oh well. The manual is otherwise in pretty good shape. Some good shape. And I will be studying this manual because I want to learn how to use that operating system. I've never used an Apple II GS computer before. This is my very first one that I've ever owned. You know. Apparently you can also hook up SCSI hard drives up to the Apple II GS. I didn't know that. I might actually be looking into that. Yeah, I might be looking into that. Yeah. It's weird that even though this is a color GUI, the manual is only showing black and white images. I wonder why they're doing that. Yeah, because this should all be in color. Should all be in color. Yeah, should all be in color. Yeah, it's weird. It's all in black and white. Showing you the disk structure of a disk, typical disk, how it's laid out in tracks and sectors. That's interesting. Yeah, no, this might be boring to some of you guys, but other people, I think they like looking at the inside of these old manuals. Because even the manuals now, in nice shape, they're getting hard to find. And they're starting to command high prices because people are looking, you know, looking for the manuals. They want the manuals for their vintage computers. And not many of them have survived through the years, so that's why I thought, well, anytime I get one of these manuals, why don't we take a peek inside together? I show you the inside of the manual, what's in there. And you can always pause the video if you want to read some of this or study some of this. I don't know how clear the HD video camera is picking up this text, but my HD video camera picks up it's pretty clear. The image is pretty clear. Yeah, it's pretty clear. I mean, you can see what's going on, That's weird that the whole manual is in black and white, even though the operating system that the manual is about is a color operating system. I find that very weird, very unusual. Yeah, that's interesting. None of this is in color. And yet, the front cover of the manual shows the color operating system. So that's weird. I guess color manuals would have cost more to produce. So that was one of Apple's way of, cost-cutting measures, save cost on the manuals. Yeah, it's not that much in here. Okay. Oh well, that's fine. Yeah. Anyway, that is the manual. Okay, the Apple IIgs System Disk User's Guide. Right there. Okay? The next thing I'm going to show you, well, the last thing I'm going to show you, is I got some disks for this computer. Now what's weird is in this Egghead software disk bank. I don't know if any of you still remember the old, Egghead software, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. But anyway, we got the original. Well, you know what? Actually, let me put it down and try to zoom in with the camera. I don't know how well it's going to pick up, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, because it reflects. I think the labels are reflective. But anyway, there's Apple II, your tour of the Apple II GS. And it's on appears to be a double-sided disc. Okay. And this right here these are the original discs that came with the Apple II GS. Okay. This is the Apple II GS System Tools version 4.0. And then we have, okay, here's another disc. Okay, the Apple II GS System Disk, again, version 4.0. And I think this Apple II GS was used, I think the parents bought the system, they used it to teach their kids math and writing, reading and writing and stuff like that. Because they were Asian, and I think that they used this to teach them English or something. I don't know, but anyway, there's that disc, Math Talk. One of the Talking Notebook series, FB, First Byte software, Math Talk, for the Apple II GS computer. And then we have by the Learning Company. Apple IIgs 3.5-inch disc version, ages 7 to 10. Writer Rabbit. Okay. Builds early writing skills. Okay, there's that disc. And then we have Math Rabbit. Okay, builds early math skills. Ages 4 to 7. Okay. And then we have Program and Picture Disc. Apple IIgs, also Apple IIc and Apple IIe with 128K of memory. And this is for ages 9 and up. It's from the Learning Company. Program and Picture Disc for use with the Children's Writing and Publishing Center. Okay. Interesting. Well, yeah, anytime I get software for computers, you know, vintage software, I usually like to show them whenever I can, because I think some people find that interesting. In fact, I've actually had some of my YouTube viewers telling me that that's one of the reasons why they like my channel, because I show software. They especially like the videos where I show vintage computer software in their original boxes, and I actually show what's inside each of the boxes, you know. They like looking at stuff like that, and so do I, you know. So, yeah. So I thought I'd show these learning discs that I got with this Apple IIgs computer system. And then we have this right here. Apple IIgs, okay, ages 9 and up. Storage disk includes sample letter for use with the Children's Writing and Publishing Center. Okay, so yeah, these are the discs I got with that Apple IIgs. Okay. Alrighty. Well, that's it for my Apple IIgs pickup video. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Hans George Campbell, and until next time.